Hi everyone, my name's Alyssa. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Why am I already thanking you? I don't know. Okay. I'm nervous. Today, I think I'm gonna sit down and record a story time video. I seriously love story time videos so much. Like, every single thing I do in my life is inspired by Tana Mongeau. I love storytime videos. I watch them all the time. I think they're hilarious, and I don't think I'm too bad at telling stories, so I decided to sit down and film one. And then I was like thinking of so many ideas. There's so many different things I can film storytime videos on, so this is going to be the first and not the last, and I can't wait. I'm so nervous. Okay, so to start off, my first storytime video ever, it is going to be about the time, obviously you'll tell by the hopefully clickbaity title, the time that I had a massive panic attack and just everything went wrong when I was in a foreign country. And I just wanted to start off this video, I guess, with a little disclaimer. Yeah, social anxiety is not fun. I know, I have it. I'm not making fun of it or anything like that. I'm just telling a story about what happened to me when I had a panic attack, and now I can look back and laugh at it because it was so ridiculous. So as you can tell by the title, I was in a different country, and that is because my grandparents, Kathy and Robert, were so gracious enough to take my sister and I, Kayla, she's 3 years older than I am, to Ireland because we had both graduated around the same time. So they decided to take us to Ireland. And they were coming with us too, which is fine. We've traveled with our grandparents before. Okay, so we were going for like, I don't know how long it was, like a 10-day trip to Ireland, and it was a bus tour, and we were going from like town to town, all mainly on like the countryside of Ireland. By the way, Ireland's amazing. And so, for some reason, my grandparents thought it was a spectacular idea to fly out of Chicago, which is like 3 or 4 hours away from where we live, to drive to Chicago to fly out to Ireland, to, I think our first stop, oh wait, we were going to Heathrow, then to Dublin. And so they were like, some reason,
like, oh, we have to friggin', go to Chicago first. I like that better.
It literally makes no sense. And so we drove all the way to Chicago. We woke up so early and drove like the 4-ish hours. Oh my god, I can't believe I would forget to put this in there. My grandpa has a Garmin because he doesn't use the like navigation system on his phone, which has an iPhone. So he has like this like what are they called? A GPS system. It's a Garmin. And he doesn't like to program it to go to the airport. He likes to program it to go to a random city outside of the airport-ish area and then take this random city to the airport. No idea why. I have absolutely no idea why that works for him, but that's what he does. And so we went to this random city, then we went to the Chicago airport. And by the way, this like that honestly tacked on like 45 extra minutes on the car ride just because he wanted to do that. So we get to the airport, and then we left knowing that there was like chaos going on at the airport because this is the day that British Airways like computer system or whatever completely shut down. And so when we left, we were like, we don't know what's gonna happen, let's just drive to Chicago anyway. So we did, and we get there, and it was like mass chaos, and I guess suddenly, I don't know if this is like a grandparent thing, but I guess when my grandparents get into airports, they suddenly can't see anything. My grandma says it's the fluorescence. So we get in an airport, and they're essentially blind. And so I'm trying to like, I have to step up because my sister's not going to step up and do anything in these situations. So I have to lead the blind all through the airport. And so we get to the place, and we're like, hey, we're here to check in, da-da-da-da. And the lady explained, she's like, the computer systems are down, or something like that is going on. And then she was like, I can't check you in, but we can get you to Heathrow, but that's your final destination. And Heathrow was absolutely not our final destination. Heathrow was, we had to get to Dublin. And like, from there, we only had like 2 hours to get to where we had to be to start the tour. So like, we couldn't just end up in Heathrow and do nothing. Like, I really don't know what their plan was for that. And so my sister is like freaking out because she's really bad in panic situations, and my grandparents are blind, and so I was like, okay, I have to do this. So I like talked to the lady, told her what tour company we were with, and all this other stuff. And she was like, oh, okay, be right back. And then so she like left and came back and was like, hey, we're transferring you guys over to Aer Lingus because we were flying British Airways. And we're so sorry, we like upgraded you and all this other stuff. But you just have to wait in this like VIP lounge for like 6 hours. So we drove for 5 hours, had to wait for like 6 hours for our flight. So we did that. It was fine. We flew. It was miserable. It was like however long, an 8-hour flight. And then we made it to Dublin. We left around nighttime. So we made it to Dublin mid-afternoon, I think. Yeah. We got there like mid-afternoon. And so we landed. And then from like this, all the start to driving to Chicago to all that, it's like been a full 24 hours. And then so we got there and just immediately started the tour and went to Trinity College in Dublin, which was amazing. And then by the time we got back to our hotel to go to sleep and everything like that, it was like 30 hours I had gone with just not sleeping at all because I couldn't sleep very well on the plane. So I hadn't slept for about 30 hours. And we were running around doing all this. I mean, we're in Ireland. So when I went to bed, I was like exhausted. And then we woke up the next morning and everything was fine. My grandma gets sick. My grandma gets sick all the time without fail. If you like tell her exciting news, tell her bad news, she's throwing up. Like it's so weird. But she's just always throwing up. It's like an ongoing joke. And so Kayla and I were like panicked that she was going to be sick this entire trip because it was like she was working herself up so much. So we woke up in the morning and we went down to breakfast and we sit down and my grandma's like,
guys, I'm sick.
And we were like, what are you talking about? And she was like,
I had diarrhea all night.
And we were like, okay, first of all, gross. Don't tell us that. We're literally eating. And so we were like so panicked that she was just going to be sick on this bus and everything was going to be miserable and she was going to be sick the entire time and she stressed us out. And then when I sat down, I brought my Yeti water bottle and I like sat it down, and then this is like when we first came to breakfast and my grandma goes,
oh good, you brought water. I can drink out of that all day.
And I was like, first of all, no, you just told me you had diarrhea, mouth, or whatever all night. You are not drinking out of my water bottle. And that, for some reason, set me literally over the edge. I was so annoyed. And so, day one, I'm already driven up the wall. And I was like, you're not drinking out of my water bottle. That's absolutely not happening. Which sounds so bratty now that I'm like thinking about it. But literally, I was not having it. And then so we go back to our room and I was like, this is gonna be a mess. And then so we go back down. It's in the morning still, so today we're gonna go to like Cashel, I think it was, and then we're gonna see like the Blarney Stone, and we're gonna go to, what is that, what's that castle called that the Blarney's at? Oh, the Blarney Castle. So we're going to see the Blarney, whatever, and the Blarney Stone. And then so we get on the bus. This is after breakfast. And then we had assigned seating. So I'm like walking down the aisle of the bus and Kayla and I are like looking at all the little like signs, and they're just double seats, you know. So Kayla and I were like, yo, we gotta sit by each other. I'm not here to make friends. And so finally I hear in the distance my grandmother calling me. My grandma calling me, and she's like, Kayla, Alyssa, we're back here. And I look back, and directly in front of me is the one row of 4 seats. So I knew I had to sit by them the entire trip. And I was like, we were going to be on this bus literally all day. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And then so this is when the panic attack happens. I'm not saying any of that caused the panic attack. I'm just saying that was the funniness leading up to it. So the moment I stepped on the bus, it felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. And everyone's panic attacks are different. Mine are like a really wrong feeling, and then I'm like, I'm going to pass out. I'm out. I'm going to pass out in like 30 seconds. I'm just panicky, so panicky that I just faint every single time. And so I'm like, something's definitely wrong. this is uncomfortable. And so I sit down and I start feeling sick. And then I like turned to my sister who's a nurse and I was like, Kayla, something bad is about to happen. And she was like, what? And I was like, no, I'm telling you, like, I'm having a panic attack. I'm not well. Something bad is gonna happen. She was like, okay, stop here. Take one of your Xanax. Take this nausea pill. You're gonna be okay. Don't panic. And I was like sitting there, like just trying to like concentrate on breathing. And then suddenly all of my clothes felt so tight. Like I just felt everything like tightening up on me. My pants, which were super loose fit, were like feeling like all my clothes were feeling like they're shrinking and like strangling me. And I was like, I have to take my pants off. And Kayla was like, what? And so I like literally am unbuttoning my pants. I'm like, I have to take them off. So I like unbutton my pants and I sit there and I'm like starting to pull my pants down, and that's when like everything goes black. Like at this point, I don't remember anything, and honestly, thank God, because I don't want to know the look of horror on everyone's face after this moment. I'm like starting to take off my pants. Oh, did I tell you where we are? We're on a bus with about 50 new people that I've never met before in my life. I'm about to spend 10 days with. We're on a bus driving through Dublin traffic. And I'm taking my pants off. So I'm out. The rest was just told to me. So I guess I started taking my pants off, and then I just vomited everywhere. I passed out and just puked everywhere. I'm like laying on a whole bunch of seats. My eyes are rolling in the back of my head. I am not there. And so Kayla's like instant nurse mode and like goes and starts like yelling at someone to stop, and then the bus. And then so all I hear before I'm like after I like throw up or whatever is my grandma go,
Oh, that's disgusting.
I was like, I don't know what's going on right now. And so like I passed it out, and I guess Kayla was like shaking me and trying to wake me up, and I was just not. So eventually I came to, and I think I just like apologized profusely, which is such a me thing to do. And then so Kayla cleaned everything up. Oh, this story's gross. So Kayla cleaned everything up, and I had puked on my clothes, and my suitcase was at the bottom of the bus, so I had no access to my suitcase, so I had to sit in my pukey clothes all day and go to the Blarney Stone and go to the Blarney Castle and see all these cool castles in Ireland on my first day, covered in vomit, and I hated it. So they stopped the bus. That happened. And they just like pulled over, and everyone was freaking out. And then it was honestly so messy. It was so bad. And then I came to, and then I felt fine after everything happened. I wasn't like sick. I was just tired. And I think it was just a buildup of being frustrated at the airport, frustrated on the flight, then going 30 hours without sleep. It led to my biggest panic attack I've ever had, and a lot of embarrassment. So that's the story on how I just vomited everywhere in Ireland, had a huge panic attack, all because my grandma wanted to drink out of my water bottle. And it was an absolute disaster. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'm Alyssa. I'm going to have all my linkies down below of all my things like Instagram, whatever. Like and subscribe. Tell me an embarrassing story in the comments. Oh my god, am I a YouTuber? Like, listen to how I'm speaking. Like, subscribe. Anyway, have a spectacular whatever time it is. What? This is dumb. Thank you so much for the support. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, bye.